So, for as long as you all have known me, I love Kingdom Hearts and I love Final Fantasy. What got me into Final Fantasy was Kingdom Hearts, and I told you guys that probably multiple times before on my channel. But I finally delved into one of Final Fantasy's titles that I think is quite amazing. Now, it doesn't play as well as something like Final Fantasy VII Remake or Final Fantasy 15, but it is still so unique and such a good game that I wanted to, one, tell you guys what's been taking all of my time, and also what has also been a game changer for me. Now, I've never paid for any games, like, besides, like, like the services, like any game service, besides, like, PlayStation Network or Xbox Live. So, a pay to play kind of service was not up my alley, but I decided, okay, let me give Final Fantasy 14 a chance. I bought I guess it was like the Ultimate Edition or the Collector's Edition to Final Fantasy 14 when it had the first 3 DLCs before Shadowbringers came out. And I bought that. I put it in my system. I had a free trial. I played for a little bit. I barely leveled up. I barely played the game. I couldn't get used to the mechanics. I couldn't get used to what the hell was going on in the game because I've never played an MMO before. It was completely different for me. But I didn't even notice how many people were actually in the game until I've just recently started playing. Now, Final Fantasy XIV is one of them games that, of course, you have to pay to play, but they changed it so that if you want to actually start playing Final Fantasy XIV, obviously I couldn't because I already played it years ago, but I decided to just pay, for a month to see how it goes. I'm glad I did. But if you want to start playing today, I think they'll let you play up to level 60, which is well over the first DLC. So I just finished the main game, and now I'm working, I guess, on the story quest for the first DLC. I'm still trying to figure things out. I've only started playing this like maybe last Saturday. So I started playing then, and I cannot put this game down. Like, that's why yesterday I didn't even upload because I didn't know what to talk about, because I didn't want to. I want to go through the main game first to see where it sits for me. And obviously, it's good. It really is good. It actually is appraised by a lot of people, and a lot of people said, "Hey, you love Final Fantasy. Why haven't you played 14?" And it was just the pay to play aspect of it, like the subscription thing that I thought was weird, and then I didn't know how to really work the Moogle station and or the Mog station, and now it's so easy now that I figured that out. So literally, I could just pay for the subscription right off the game. So that's that's crazy. Um, but yeah, this is actually one of them titles that I would recommend to people that if they are scared to play an MMO, I think, and obviously if you're watching my channel, you love Kingdom Hearts or you love Final Fantasy, you love them both. This is definitely an MMO that you would definitely enjoy. You can create your own character. You can pick your own job, which is, the type of character you are. If you're like a tank or a healer, stuff like that. You could choose that, and that's not tied down to one specific race or anything. You can, mix and match whatever you want to do, and I think that is really cool because I think a lot of MMOs kind of make it difficult to choose a character because you might find one that you really like to run around as, but it's locked with whatever job they have. So this is like, it gives you a lot of accessibility to use in game. And I met so many different people too. Like, now I've been playing. See, I'm off of PS4, so a lot of people are playing with PC. It is cross-platform, and they're typing fast as hell and talking in a little chat bar. And I don't even mess with it because it's so difficult for PlayStation to do it. I know that I can go out and buy a keyboard, USB keyboard, and plug it into the system, and that would work. But right now, I can't right now. So I'm just trying to just play it. I did meet one other person that does play off of PS4, and we just get into a chat, like a party chat. That's pretty cool. If any of you guys watching now do play Final Fantasy 14 online, please let me know in the comments down below. Add me, and then we can play this game online, because I would love to have a bunch of friends that play 14, and we can run around and do shit in 14. But I really do enjoy it though. I just beat it, like the main game today, so I'm working on the other DLCs. I don't know how many quests are in the DLCs, but I'm trying to figure all that stuff out now. I'm a decent level now as well, so that's good. They did just announce a new trailer for the next DLC, which I think is Endwalker, which is pretty cool. I have not seen it yet because I wanted to play it, get to know it a little bit, and then I might do just to see how far I get into 14 and how I feel towards it. If I'm really excited for the DLC, once I get through a lot more of the DLC, then I might do a review, not review, but like a reaction video to that DLC. That's the reason why I don't cover this stuff, or I didn't even watch it, because I did not want to watch it in case I get so into this game that it would be something exciting to actually see. So I know a lot of people probably already did reaction videos to it because they've already played it, but you got to understand that I am quite new to this, so I'm just trying to pace myself and climb the ladder here. I would say though that it is kind of overwhelming. If you sit and let yourself level up, you can learn the mechanics easier, but for me, it's like, it's such a big game. I've noticed that the only story stuff that I would sit and actually listen to was actually the voice acted ones. If there was any bubbles, it's not like Kingdom Hearts to me. Like Kingdom Hearts, I would sit there and I would read every bubble. In this one, there's so much shit going on, I would actually end up skipping all the bubbles. But I kind of get the gist of how the story went, so that's fine. The story so far that I know that it's literally like not in bubble was really good. So I don't know. I think it's a good game, and I'm pretty sure that if I read every single bubble in every quest that I did, I probably enjoyed even more, which is saying a lot because I really do like this game. I know that a lot of you guys are like, you know what, I don't want to pay for this. You know, I already pay for PlayStation Network, or maybe you just are short on money. I understand that. That's completely fine. I completely get you there. But if you do get the chance to play Final Fantasy 14 and give it a try, you know, I think it's worth it. I do think it's worth it. Plus, it's like, it's one, it's also my first MMO. So I've never been in a game that's full of, it's like thousands of people in one server. It's insane. And like, I've never seen a game like this before. I mean, I've known that World of Warcraft is a game that's like this, but that to me was so cheesy to me. Like, it was just like the weirdest, like, cartooniest Dungeons and Dragons wannabe game. And I'm not trying to, you know, shit on World of Warcraft, because I know it's one of the OG MMOs. I get it. And if you play World of Warcraft and you're mad that I just said that, I'm sorry. It just wasn't up my alley. But since I already love Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts, this was up my alley to bring me into this type of game. All it took was something like this to actually draw me in. Now, first, you know, it was overwhelming at first for me years ago when I started playing, because it was just so much shit going on. But since I have time, I was like, you know what, let me just try to play it, because if I can learn the mechanics, maybe I can go somewhere. Plus, if you are a type of person that likes to change up your stuff, you can get a lot of in-game stuff for your character, like different outfits. Of course, the outfits do different things for your character. But also, if you want to spend some money in the game, you can. They have the Mog Station, which is basically the online store. And you basically can buy different mounts and stuff like that. That's another thing I like, mounts. So, like, I have a Fenrir. I bought a Fenrir from the Mog Station, which is Cloud's bike. So I got that and was like, yes, I love this. I also have a little minion, so you can have a person or like a little minion that runs behind you. I have a little Tifa that runs after me. That is amazing. I love that. There's so many little things that are really cool in this game that I think makes the game shine. And then on top of that, you just have a whole community. Most of the people are actually really cool. I've never met anybody that was actually an asshole in game yet, which is really good. There are, of course, going to be some people that are like, hey, you don't know what you're doing, get the fuck off this game. somewhere out there. I know there's people like that, and just ignore them. Honestly, just ignore them, because if you want to get into this game, you do have to have a lot of learning to do. I myself have a lot of learning that I have to do, and I understand that. I know that it's completely new. I've never been in an MMO before. It's completely different. There's a lot of shit going on. You have to know that if you're a tank, you got to do what you got to do as a tank. If you're a healer, you got to do what you got to do as a healer. You all have a job to do, and you all have to work together. And that is something that you just have to learn. You have to learn your mechanics. You have to learn your skills. You have to learn everything. But that's a part of this type of game. And I think it is worth diving into. I think it's worth meeting these cool people that you're going to run into. I mean, there's people in the community that you can go to a big city in this game, and literally, like, they're all just chilling, talking, and doing emotes to each other, and playing instruments. And I mean, I was in a lobby earlier today that literally, they were playing instruments, but they were playing, like, old songs that, like from the 80s and shit. And I don't know how they got them songs into this game, like how they got their characters to play them songs on their instruments. It made me completely confused, and I thought it was so amazing as well. Like, I was like, how the hell did they do that? I want to know how they did that. So I'm sitting there and I'm clapping for them, and I'm going around hugging people. You see, like of course you can customize your outfits as much as you want, and you see some crazy combinations too. Like, I've seen a guy that was like, it was like a suit waist up, but like when you look down, he had like fishnets, fishnets on, and like shorts, fishnets, and like these weird like heels, or like boots that look like they were so weird. But it was funny as hell because he was like chasing people around and just messing with them, and I thought it was just hilarious. Like, you cannot do that in a regular Final Fantasy game. You can only do that in Final Fantasy 14 online. That right there is unique. I'm actually really excited. I cannot wait to play through the rest of these DLCs and meet different people, and I'm kind of really excited for like anything in the future, like with this game, because right now it's something completely different. I thought that I would never get into. I thought that it was something that I was like, I don't know. I think I can skip out on this. But since I played through most of the Final Fantasy games, and we have a little bit of time before Final Fantasy VII Remake comes out, or Part 2 comes out, I was like, I need something to kind of get my fix, on Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts. And Kingdom Hearts I played so many times. I mean, I can work on some trophies on Kingdom Hearts, which is fine, but when you play so much of it, and you play so much of Final Fantasy, like I played a lot of Final Fantasy 15, and I played a lot of Final Fantasy 7 Remake, to the point where Final Fantasy 7 Remake actually made me play the original game because I wanted to know what happened. So I love that game as well. Like, I can't believe I missed out on the original Final Fantasy as a kid, and I think it was probably because of the mechanics and stuff. It's kind of hard playing a game like that when you're young. But I think that 14 is definitely going to get my fix. I think I could probably play 14 until the next big title for me to come out. Like, literally, this might hold me over till, like, the next Kingdom Hearts, or the next... Well, I think the next Final Fantasy is coming out. 16. It'll hold me off till 16. Then once I'm done 16, I'll probably go back on 14. And then I'll play 14 until the next Kingdom Hearts comes out, or 7 Remake, because we'll probably get 7 Remake before a next Kingdom Hearts title, because the next title for Kingdom Hearts is 2022. So if we think about it, 16 I think is coming out in November, and then 7 Remake, I'm really hoping that 7 Remake Part 2 comes out before 2022, because if it's coming out the same year as Kingdom Hearts, like another Kingdom Hearts title, I'm going to be like, holy shit, this is overwhelming. But it'll be fun, because I'll have enough stuff to do that year. So maybe, I don't know yet. But I'm excited. So if you haven't played 14 yet, be sure to play it. It's so good. Remember to leave this video a huge like, subscribe if you haven't already. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you guys play 14 or not, and add me so I can play with you, because I need people to play with. I have like basically one friend on 14, and it would help me out if you guys add me over there. But thanks for watching, and let your hearts be your guiding keys. Bye.